Segment 3 takes us to the land down under. Takes us to Australia, where everything is trying to kill you. Koalas are trying to kill you. Snakes are trying to kill you. Kangaroos are trying to kill you. And more importantly, Tony Khan is trying to kill you in Australia. He's trying to murder you. And as we've established on this program, murder is bad. I'm not playing. I'm getting Pombo a t-shirt. Murder is bad. I bet you there's some bitches are gonna sell the fuck out. I'm doing it. Murder is bad. I'm playing with the idea, but you know what? I need to make this shit happen. Anyway, All Elite Wrestling is back on the news front again. This time on their trip to Australia, which was supposed to be in a stadium, but nobody bought tickets to it, so they went to an arena. And it was supposed to be a pay-per-view, but nobody really bought tickets to it, so it just became a television special. And it gets worse. They did not bring all of their equipment to Australia. Apparently, the Dynamite and the Collision tapings were very close to the time period in which they were supposed to go to Australia, so they had to rent a ring from PWA, Pro Wrestling Australia, an independent wrestling company down, of course, in Australia. And they had to borrow a ring from them, and they got the ring all set up, and they had to bring in all new ring skirts and all kinds of stuff because their stuff didn't fit. It's a smaller ring. AEW utilizes the traditional televised ring of 20 by 20. It was rumored that the ring that they rented was a 16 by 16, which would have been fucking miserable for these people to work in. But I'm now hearing, and it's being confirmed, that it was an 18 by 18, which is still not ideal, but it's not a 16. Holy fuck. So I'm throwing some numbers around. And I know for the layman, for the people who don't know all of the inside information about pro wrestling, the size of the ring doesn't really seem to wave any red flags, right? People go, 20, 18, 16, what's the difference? It's a square. Just take your bumps and fucking do what you gotta do. It is simply just not that fucking simple. And anybody who has stepped foot inside of a ring and taken any kind of bump whatsoever will tell you it is simply just not that simple a case. Now, if you're a professional, a true and blue professional, been doing this for years, been to the WWE, been to all the major promotions, you can adjust, right? The 20 by 20 to the 18 by 18. You might even be able to fuck with a 16 by 16. I've seen former WWE. I trained in a 16 when I was at the Ludus in Brooklyn with the Maximos. They had a 16. And we had former WWE guys that came to the school to train, and they did pretty okay in the 16. But but even they will tell you, and they did it that day, it is a terrible transition when the ring size changes dramatically. Very, very, very traumatic. And I will give you the best example to kind of give you a picture of what it's like to change things so drastically. Okay? So, running ropes. Okay? Hitting a rope, running to the other rope, and back and forth, running ropes, cling, 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 cling. There's a cadence. There's a timing that comes into running ropes, right? So it's rope, cling, 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 boom, rope, cling, 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 boom, rope, cling, 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 boom, rope. Now, you can speed it up. Cling, 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 rope, cling, 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 rope, cling, 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 rope, cling, 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 rope. You can slow it down. Cling, 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 rope, cling, 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 rope. But the cadence is the same. It's rope, 1, 2, 3, rope, 1, 2, 3, rope, 1, 2, 3, rope, so on and so forth. The reason why ring size is fucking important It's because if you spend all of your days in a 20, then you go rope, cling, 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 rope, cling, 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 rope, cling, 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 rope. There's a consistency there. You're running ropes. That's how you run ropes naturally. When you run ropes like that in a 20, you don't think about running ropes anymore. You're just running ropes. It's the same as breathing. You just breathe. You don't know how you're doing it. You just do. When that 20 becomes an 18, that natural flow of rope, ting, 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 rope, ting, 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 rope now has to become rope, ting, 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 rope, ting, 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 rope, ting, 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 rope. Now you're speeding up the natural flow. If you're a taller gentleman and you don't have the ability to quicken that cadence, now it's less in the middle. Now it's rope, ting, ting, rope, ting, ting, rope. There's 2 instead of 3. Same thing if you go from 18 to a 16. If you're a 6'5" guy in a 16 ring, you can probably cover the whole length of the ring in just the one step. Rope, ting, rope, ting, rope. You're shortening the space. It would be like having to try to have a fight in the living room, or you could have a fight in your bedroom, or you can have a fight in the bathroom. Where would you rather have your fight? In the living room, where there's more space. You could have a fist fight in there and it's still safer than if you had the fist fight, say, in the bathroom. That's the difference in the ring. Even something as simple as taking a body slam. When you're in a 20 by 20 ring and you're delivering a body slam on your opponent, there's room. So you can go big. You go up, you bring him over, swing, flat on his back, bam. Hit the rope. He's got plenty of time to see you hit that rope. Turn around, up and over. There's room for movement. It's fluid. They always say to be safe, do everything in the center of the ring. When you're in a 20, there's room for error. If you do a suplex, you do a move of any kind, and you don't land in the middle, that's fine. Because the distance between the middle and the rope is still an additional 10 feet. There's space. You're good. If you are not safe and in the middle in, say, a 16, you're going to murder the motherfucker that you're throwing on the floor. He is a dead man. Because he's not going to know where he is. Because that body slam that you were high and up on, now, not so much. Now, you're literally just turning him upside down from where he is and placing him in the middle. Just to make sure he's in the middle. Because if you go up and you just throw, he's going to fucking drop kick the rope. He's going to tear his hamstring. So you got to go. Instead of a throw that was nice and pretty and boom, and they drop an elbow, boom. Now you're stuck. You're in the middle here. Boom. It's the reverse, too. There is a school, again, not naming any names, there's a school not too far from here. They train in a 14. And I said, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. If this is where you're training, you're going to be in a lot of trouble when you get into the bigger rings. Even if, forget 20. That's out of the fucking question. You should not be allowed anywhere near a 20 until you train in it. But if you're starting at a 14, if you're even starting at a 16, 18 is going to fuck your head. Because if you start it in a small ring, that means everything you do is in the middle. Everything. Everything. And you're just safe and everything. You're precise. Everything is here. Boom, boom, boom. Even when you come off the ropes, it's all here. Boom, right in the middle. Nice and tight. Just so you can stay safe. As you start getting into bigger rings, you have to adjust to bigger rings. Because if you do everything to the middle, I mean every single thing that you do is to the middle, the criticism you're going to get is you didn't use the ring. There's other facets to the ring. You can move around. You can make it look a little bit more fluid. We need bigger. That's what WWE and AEW is supposed to be. It's bigger. We got 3 roams, 2 hards. We got a roaming. I mean, WWE now has a fucking drone that comes in from the street and fucking records what's happening in the ring. There's a million eyes. So we need big. Everything big. You get punched in the face, your arms come up. Everything big. You get hit in the gut. Oh, you're loud. You lean all the way over. So like real low. Bring your head, even though he just hit you in the stomach. You ever been hit in the stomach by accident? What do? You just kind of flinch forward. Not in wrestling. If I pluck you in the stomach, you gotta go, ooh, and bring your head all the way down here. And then when he kicks you in the shoulder, oh, everything has to be big and open. Because that's the old school style of wrestling. You're not wrestling to the guy in the front row. You're wrestling to the guy in the upper deck in the last row. Everyone in the building needs to see everything. And that's why a big ring and a smaller ring matters. Because the smaller the ring, the less big that you can get. And when you're wrestling in an arena filled with people, it's not a good visual. Now, Buddy Murphy, he took a different approach with his complaints. He's currently dealing with an injury now. He has an ankle injury that he's blaming on the ring. Because apparently the padding under the ring, he was doing something on the turnbuckle, during his entrance. He hit the second turnbuckle, and when he came down, there was a hole in the padding, and it turned his foot, and he sprained his ankle. Now, it's a slight sprain. He's not going to be out of action for a long time. But he was just pissed to high heaven that he even had to work in that fucking ring in the first place. He was, oh my God, he was otherworldly mad. And I'm pretty sure there were a few people there that were mad. And all the fans were online, well, I don't understand the big deal. Okay, it's a smaller ring, but it's still a ring. You're not in it. You're not in it. If you're used to driving trucks all day, being put in a Kia Soul will fuck with you. It will fuck with you. Just like if all you drive is the Kia Soul and you want to move out of your house, so you're forced to drive a U-Haul truck. You don't know what to fucking do with yourself. That's the
one. You know what fucks you up too? If you're a forklift driver, forklifts turn from behind, like the back of your wheels turn. So when you go into a car in the front, and you drive for 12 hours and you get in your car, it feels fucking weird.
See? That's what I'm saying. Once you're used to doing it a certain way, to have someone either reverse it or change it up on you or shrink it down, it's a pain in the ass. It's a real pain in the ass. These are professionals, and they'll adjust. That's fine. But I'm just putting this out there for the individuals that don't get that kind of ring time. Where it's like, it will fuck with you. Don't let these people on the internet convince you that it's just a small, minuscule thing. It really isn't. It's really important to the safety of everybody who's performing that they're comfortable in the ring that they're in. And even if some of these, and a lot of these guys, AEW, WWE, a lot of these guys were in the independents, and I'm pretty sure they were in some really shit rings. But for most of them, they hadn't done those rings in a very long time. So I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys, when they got to the building and saw that ring, the first thing they started doing was running ropes. Because that's the fastest way, that's the fastest way wrestlers can acclimate to a new ring. I know that's what I do. Whenever I go to a new company and I've never been in their ring, before doors open, I don't even change. Before doors open, I get a feel for those ropes. I put my body on those ropes. I hit the corner. I put both feet on the bottom rope and kind of bounce up and down, holding the top rope. I give that ring a full-on, I test it. What can I do? What can I not do? What should I not let anybody do to me? Because if I know that top rope is loose or bendy, I'll tell my opponent, hey, I don't know if you plan on doing something with that top rope, but that shit moves. So, heads up. Even if you don't hit me, I don't want you to springboard and fall on your ass. You know what I'm saying? These things have to be looked at. These things need to be tested. These things that I need to know that this thing is not going to fucking kill me. There's I don't want to go off tangent, but my wife found a wrestling school in Florida. And I'm not going to give the information. But they're a very credible school. They have a lot of great trainers, a lot of great guest speakers. If you're looking to get into the business, I would actually advocate looking into this school. But they have one program that's kind of insulting, and it's kind of shitty, where they're allowing kids, underage kids, 13 years old, 12 years old, to come in and do beginner practice and workshops, which on paper doesn't sound like much, but they're taking bumps. And they're running ropes, and they're doing all these drills and stuff. Cardiovascularly, sure, I get that. Okay, that makes some sense. But then they have them doing promo things and coming up with gimmicks and like working on how to become a professional wrestler at like 12 or 13 years old. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, that's not okay at all. None of these individuals should be taking any kind of fucking bump. Look at the NFL and what they're trying to. The NFL right now is trying to abolish Pee Wee football. The NFL is trying to abolish Pee Wee football. They don't want anybody playing football until at least high school, because of what those injuries and what those things can do to the fucking human brain. What do you think wrestling is? Forget the fake bullshit. Where everyone, it's fake, it's scripted. Yes, it very much is scripted. Yes, we do know ahead of time who is going to win and who's going to lose. I hate to break it to everybody who's not in the know, but when you fall down for real. And it only really takes one bad fall down. I have probably taken thousands of bumps. I've taken them in rings. I've taken them on concrete floors. I've taken them on park mats. I've taken bumps in a lot of places. 3 times I took really bad ones. 2 concussions and 1 separated elbow. It only takes the one. You can do it 1,000 times in a row perfectly right on the button. That 1,001 can fucking kill you. And that's the question that I have for schools who are trying to incorporate young people into doing this. This is a sport and this is entertainment. But either way you want to slice it, if you want to go with real, if you want to go with fake, however you want to design it, people have and people still can die from this. Whether it be the bump you took in the moment, like when Mitsuhara died, like when Hayabusa lost his career. There's a lot of Drozdov, 1 running powerbomb. You know how many powerbombs he took in his career? A bunch. You know how many paralyzed him? Just the one. Just the one. Just the one powerbomb was all it took for him to never walk again. So now this kid comes in. He's a 12-year-old kid, good-looking kid, in shape for a 12-year-old, right? Active, rambunctious. He takes 1 T-bone fucking back bump. Not even a move. No one's touching him. He back bumps on his neck. He does 1 T-bone by accident, and he breaks his fucking neck. You think the parents are going to sit here and say, man, you know what? The school took every precaution that they could. Freak accident. You think they're going to be sitting by their son's hospital bed while he's sitting there breathing through a fucking tube? That the school was just looking out for his best interest? No, they're going to fucking sue you under the table. And now, what was a credible school, when they were dealing with just the adults, now goes under, and now those kids have to go somewhere else to get their education because you couldn't keep your hands out of the kiddie bowl. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Be safe. That's the point of this segment, with AEW and everybody, WWE included. Be safe. That's it. I don't know how many times I got to walk into a school and remind people because they think this shit is fun and games. You can die in there. You can die. Dive over the top rope, superplex off the top, tables, chairs, all that shit. People think that shit is part of the game. First time I ever got hit with a fucking steel chair, no one told me it was coming. And I got hit right here on the left side, and I've been partially colorblind from that eye ever since. That shit never went away. I'm dealing with it right now. I'm looking at my screen fucked up right now. I've adjusted to it over time. But this shit is not easy, and it's not simple, and this is not a job anybody can just get off their couch and fucking do. Stop telling, and this is not for the fans. This is for the people inside the industry. Stop telling these people that anybody can do it. That it's for everybody. It's not for everybody. You got to have a specific skill set to do this safely without murdering yourself or the person you're in there with. Mainly, me, motherfucker. Don't injure me. And then we'll be all right. So, just wanted to throw that out there. Just wanted to throw that out there for the people who are out here bitching about the ring. It's just another ring. It is not just another ring. And this is why the wrestlers have had issues with it. Period. End of conversation.